Welcome to Eve May's Poetry Corner. Another dynasty for you. Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner was born on May the 17th, 1912 in North Carolina. She came from a family of inventors. Her father, who she credited for her initial interest in discovery, was Sidney Nathaniel Davidson. In her lifetime, he patented a clothing press which would fit in suitcases. Though he ultimately made no money on the invention, he also patented a window washer for trains. And this is the big one. He invented a stretcher with wheels for ambulances. Her grandfather invented a light signal for trains. Sadly, this invention was stolen from him. Her sister Mildred Davidson invented and commercially sold board games. So, in 1931, Kenner graduated from high school and earned a place at the prestigious Howard University. Sadly, she was forced to drop out a year and a half into her course due to financial pressures. Still a problem today, hey? She took on odd jobs such as babysitting before landing a position as a government employee. But all the while, she continued tinkering in her spare time. The perennial problem was money. Filing a patent was, and still is, an expensive business. By 1956, Kenner had saved enough money to patent her first major invention. That was an adjustable sanitary belt with an inbuilt moisture-proof napkin pocket, making it less likely that menstrual blood could leak and stain clothes. It was long before the advent of disposable pads, and women were still using cloth pads and rags during their period. My, and this was the 50s. One day, she was contacted by the Son-Nap Pack Company. They expressed an interest in marketing her invention. A company drove to Kenner's house in Washington to meet her. When they found out she was black, their interest dropped. The representative went back to New York and informed her the company was no longer interested. I mean, you're letting the colour of someone's skin stop you from doing business. Fruitful business. Kenner never made any money from the sanitary belt because her patent expired and became public domain. Take that, make a note, people, allowing it to be manufactured freely. Between 1956 and 1987, she received a total of 5 patents for her household and personal item creations. She shared the patent on the toilet tissue holder with her sister Mildred Davidson. The toilet tissue holder was created to be more accessible for blind people and for those suffering with arthritis. Her other major patented invention was the carrier attachment for a walker, which she invented in 1959 to help her sister Mildred after she developed multiple sclerosis. This woman. Mary Kenner worked as a professional floral arranger. So she did all of this in her spare time and had 4 flower shops scattered around the Washington, D.C. area. She was married to a renowned heavyweight boxer named Jack or Jabbo Johnson. Together, they lived in McLean, Virginia, with their 5 foster children. Well, what a phenomenal woman from a phenomenal dynasty. Let's check her accomplishments again. 5 patents and 2 major inventions. Now, to put her sanitary belt into perspective, when I first started my period, the make of my sanitary wear was called Dr. White's. And yes, it had an adjustable belt. I hated it, but that was all we had. The sanitary pads we now buy and we see in the shops and buy with the adhesive strips were not invented until 1969, people. Her carrier for walkers is a standard now, right? We see elderly people every day on our streets with these walkers. I mean, another black person, and a woman to boot, yeah, who has impacted the world for millions of people across all nations, races rather. I'm just overwhelmed. Wonderful. See you next week for another interesting story. Bye.